Hello! I hope you are doing well. Welcome back to another episode of the What Fills Your Cup podcast. I am your host, Riley Alexander, and today is a fun one. Today's a fun one because it is the second official week, I guess, of me sitting down and filming a solo episode that foreshadows for my guests episode. Before we dive into things, I really want to talk about this podcast in general and how I've been feeling. We are now on week 3, I think. 4, maybe. I have no idea. I have zero concept of time. If it wasn't for my other job, I would not know what day it is. Honestly, I don't even know what day it is today, but that's okay. As far as you're concerned, it's Wednesday. Hump day. Let's go. I am not going to lie. I completely underestimated how much time editing takes. You guys, since I got home from my trip to Mexico, I have been waking up at 7 a.m. every single day and editing from 7 a.m. till 4 p.m. and then from 5 p.m. till 11 p.m. I work my other job, which if you didn't know, I am a bartender, love my job, so much freaking fun, but balancing the two, safe to say my fuse has gone from like this to microscopic. I am just freaking exhausted. But this is the thing, is I wouldn't want to be doing anything else. I am so excited and grateful that I'm even able to do this. Editing is even a thing in my life right now. This has been my dream since I was 15 years old and little me wanted to start a YouTube channel. And here I am now, 25 years old, 10 years later, doing the damn thing. However, I am having a difficult time balancing work life, personal life, when to turn this all off and to just enjoy the moment, because I am finding myself constantly thinking of what it is I need to get done for the next week, what it is I need to get done for this week, all the little nitty-gritty things that I have to do that go into each episode. Obviously, that takes a while, and I think I underestimated how long it does take. But like I said, I would not want to be doing anything else. It is so much fun, and I'm having the best time ever. I keep reminding myself that it's the beginning, and it will get easier, and to just keep chasing my dream. That is where I'm going with this, is I am chasing my dream, which is this, which is what I'm doing, and I am absolutely loving every single second of it, although I feel like I could sleep for 15 hours straight. Yeah, you heard that right. 15 hours, and I could maybe be like, okay, I'm rejuvenated. Before I dive in, as much as I want to say I'm having a fun alcoholic drink, I'm not. I'm having a coffee right now because I freaking need it. So please don't judge me. You know, I'm starting to think once I get a better handle of all the editing and time management, I can start incorporating more fun drinks. It's also winter time right now in Vancouver. It's freaking freezing. So I have also just been drinking a lot of warm drinks, aka multiple cups of coffee a day. So that's what I'm drinking today. So before I start, I want to say the biggest cheers. I hope you are cozied up on the couch, or maybe it's your work break, or maybe you just got home from work and you want to watch an episode. I hope you have something warm to fill your cup, and let's dive right in. So cheers. Wow, definitely needed this. So today is an interesting episode because I feel like with what the topic is, we're going to get a little more personal today, which I'm excited about because the whole part of this part of the podcast is for you guys to get to know me a little bit better. And with that, I want to try to be as vulnerable and open as I possibly can be, with also protecting my peace and sharing what I feel comfortable with sharing to you, my audience. There is something so comforting about people that are real and honest and open and talk about struggles that maybe not everyone is comfortable with talking about or sharing. At the end of the day, you can choose and share what you are comfortable with sharing. Today's topic is going to be about fitness, working out, and gym culture. So if you didn't know, I actually played hockey, ice hockey, for 11 years. It was my entire life in elementary school, high school, and then I had to stop when I was in grade 12. I got really, really sick when I was in grade 12. I am not comfortable with sharing what exactly that whole part of my life was at that time. My health is something that is an ongoing battle, ups and downs, but I am a-okay, and that is all that matters. And I am so incredibly thankful for the doctors that helped me, especially during that time. Once I was done my hockey journey or my career, or knew that I was no longer able to play, I took a break from sports because I just had to get all my health stuff under control. And when I was 19 years old, I was in a very unhealthy relationship at that time. And when I had gotten out of that relationship, there was a lot of insecurities that I felt, not only with who I was, but also with my body and the way I looked. And I was comparing the heck out of myself to all the other individuals around me. I don't want to get into too much detail of that relationship because it brings me a lot of anxiety, but I will say that I really wanted to work out to just get more strong. At that time, after that relationship, I was going to the gym to fill a void that I was clearly very much trying to fill because it was so big and deep in my heart, and I truly thought I loved this person, and I would go to the gym to just burn myself out. I was so stressed out at that time. I was not eating. I was losing weight faster than I've ever seen my body lose weight before. With what I'm opening up about, I guess I can sit here and say that my relationship with the gym from the ages of 18 to 22 was the most toxic relationship I'd maybe ever been in with myself. I have never talked about this online before, but I used to have a fitness account on Instagram for a few years. At the beginning of that account, I had the most fun ever. It was a way for me to track my workouts. It was a way for me to find workouts. It was a way for me to hold myself accountable, follow other workout routines, and I slowly started going into posting my own workout routines and what worked for me and what didn't work for me. Overall, I was just full on deep dive into the workout gym rat era. And that was fun at the beginning. However, as time went on, I didn't realize until my breaking point that I was no longer going to the gym to feel strong. I was going for aesthetic purposes. I was going because I wanted to look a certain way, not because I was actually taking care of myself. Because behind the scenes, I was not taking care of myself at all. And it wasn't until I started going back to therapy consistently and regularly that I realized that there is a much bigger issue at hand with fueling my body properly and taking proper care of myself. And I get a little bit emotional when I think of that because a part of me just wishes that I could go back and give that age of myself a really big hug and tell her to just breathe. When I had started going back to therapy at the breaking point of my health, I guess you could say, when I was 22 years old, I had completely stopped that fitness Instagram page because I felt as though I was lying to my entire audience of putting on this fake face of being there at the gym, feeling good, looking good, when in reality I was so unhealthy. I was not taking care of myself. My mental health was the shits, to put it lightly. And I had to completely stop that page and stop that lifestyle because it was the most unhealthy thing I could have been doing for myself at that time had I continued with that passion. I felt so defeated when I deleted that page and I stopped posting on it because fitness was such a big part of my life for so many years. And then I had a professional essentially tell me, you should not be doing what you are doing right now. You need to actually start taking care of yourself, and this is not the way to do it. And to be told that, I had no idea what to do at that point. I felt like a failure. And it wasn't until I started going to a lot of therapy again, and I bring up therapy a lot on this channel because it is something that has truly changed my life. It wasn't until I started going consistently that I was having to really work on the inside and what needed to be healed internally before I could start healing what needed to be healed externally, as in my body. I had completely stopped going to the gym. It was something that at that point I dreaded. I felt like I couldn't go because I would be back into that unhealthy version and mindset of myself. And so I just completely stopped. I stopped, and if I'm being honest, until last week, literally last week, was the first time I stepped into a gym in probably a year and a half. I just stopped. I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. I get way too anxious now when I go to a gym. I hate the gym. Everyone around me knows what they're doing, and everyone around me is way healthier than I am, and I'm embarrassed to be in my workout clothes because they're tight as hell and everyone can see every part of my body, and I just freaking hated everything about the gym. I hated the way my body looked in leggings. I hated the way my body looked in an oversized t-shirt, sweatshirt, sports bra. I was really hating and grew a hatred for something that at one point was my life. And I had to work on repairing that relationship because I sit here now at 25 years old and I'm starting to learn and understand the importance and the benefits of moving and properly taking care of your body. And that is something that I am still working on, but I can sit here today and I can sit here right now and I can say that last week was the first time in a year and a half that I went to a gym and I felt amazing. The gym is a very, very healthy community, and it's also a very welcoming community. And that is also a part that I lost when I had stopped going and working out and taking care of my body physically. But I needed to stop taking care of my body physically when I actually wasn't taking care of it physically. I was pushing it to its wit's end. And I needed to take care of myself mentally before I could make that step going back into a space that made me really insecure, that brought up a lot of emotion and past feelings and experiences And I had to heal that before I could go back in and feel confident this time, going back into that room and not feeling anxious or scared or judged. The word judged I use is because I feel at times, if you are maybe someone like me that feels anxious when you do go to the gym, I want you to know that no one is judging you. Those people that are at the gym are only judging themselves. And I did not know that, and I needed to hear that more than once, because there was a period of time when I went to the gym and I felt that everyone in that room was judging me. And that couldn't be farther from the truth. No one actually cares who or what I'm doing. If anything, the only thing that they care about is themselves and their form and what workouts they're doing and how many reps they can do and how much weight they can put on. That's what they're caring about. That's what's going through their mind. They're not judging you if you step into the gym. And I really want you, if you're someone that's worried or anxious to go to the gym, no one's judging you. And there's nothing to be scared of. And if you have a question, 99% of the time, if you go up to a stranger and say, hey, do you mind helping me? Or could you help and show me how to do this workout or this machine? I'm unsure how to use it. 99% of the time, someone is going to say, of course, yes, I would love to. And if that person says no, find someone else. I mean, okay, I gotta say, maybe don't interrupt someone when they're mid-rep or mid-set, because I would be like, can you give me 2? Like, I'm trying to work out right now. But I will say, the gym is a very welcoming and open community. And I want you to know that if you're someone that's scared or nervous or anxious of stepping foot in a gym, it is scary. It is intimidating as shit. And I'm not going to sugarcoat that. I'm not going to sit here and say that, go in, you'll be fine. No, it's an intimidating place. You have all these individuals around you that you might feel that they know exactly what they're doing or exactly what to do. And maybe they do. But those are the people that are going to help you. And you can work towards your own goals, and you can work towards bettering yourself physically and mentally, because there is also a huge component of mental health in the gym. Because like I just said, when I went to the gym last week, mentally, when I left, I felt amazing. Dopamine was pumping through my freaking veins. I felt as though I could have ran a marathon. I was smiling, singing my heart out on the way home because I was just so proud of myself. And I hadn't been able to say that with the gym in years. When it comes to the gym, something that works for me is doing classes. So when I'm talking about the gym, I have been going to mat Pilates classes, or I've been going to, there is a place called Ride, and it is like, if you've ever heard of Soul Cycle, it's like that. And I've been taking cycling classes, I've been taking mat Pilates classes, I've been taking mat workout classes. What I've recognized works best for me is when I go to a class and I have an instructor telling me what to do, instead of walking into a gym and looking at the machines, feeling intimidated, feeling anxious, and immediately walking out. Instead, I have someone giving me step by step of what to do, how to work on my form, their walking around the class, their energy, their support, their kindness. I have really found that classes have worked best for me as I'm taking these next steps of getting back into properly taking care of and moving my body. This is a work in progress. And I hope by me being open and honest and vulnerable in today's episode, you too can see that you might feel those emotions that I've touched on when I walk into a gym. But you're not alone. And I'm sure there's other people in that gym that might also be thinking the same thing. But I also want you to know that it does take time to find what works best for you. And any form of movement is good movement, whether that be a walk, whether that be a run, whether that be stretching in the morning, whether that be yoga for 20 minutes right when you get out of bed or right before you get into bed. I feel extremely lucky that I have a body that can get me from point A to point B, and I want to make sure that I'm taking care of that body in the healthiest and most sustainable way possible. Whew. I feel a little nervous with everything that I've just talked about, but again, touching at the beginning of the episode, I really want to try to be as vulnerable and open to as many of you guys as I possibly can be. And I think that's all a part of creating a healthy and safe community, is being open and honest and talking about your struggles and allowing people to remember and know that they aren't alone. And if you're someone like me that is so freaking anxious walking into a gym, then try a class or go for a walk instead, or go for a jog or stretch at home. There's a lot of alternatives in ways that you can move your body, but movement is so important, and I promise you will never regret a good, healthy workout. Just make sure that you are taking care of yourself internally, because mental health is just as important as physical health. And I want to make sure that you guys know that those both need to be taken care of equally and in the healthiest way possible. Whatever that may look like for you. I don't know. I don't know what that looks like for you. But I am learning currently, still, to this day, to this freaking second, what it looks like for me. And it is a long road and journey ahead, but I am so incredibly grateful and excited that I have finally found the confidence to start taking care of my body again in a healthy way, and where I am at a space and point in time that I am able to go and take care of my body and move my body, because I am so much healthier than I was a year ago, 2 years ago, Lord knows 3 years ago, and it goes on until 2018. But it is 2025 now, which actually literally makes me ill. Where is the time going? I thought, whole other side note, we gotta end on a good note. Whole other side note, I thought by this time, I remember thinking, when I'm 25, I'm gonna have a kid, I'm gonna own a house, I'm gonna have a husband, and I have none of the above. I have a boyfriend. Slay. That's the first step. I always want to try to end on a bit more of a positive note, but with that being said, thank you guys so very much for watching today's episode. Do not forget to subscribe to the What Fills Your Cup channel here on YouTube and the What Fills Your Cup podcast on Instagram. I am so excited for you guys to meet my guest this Sunday. There was lots of giggles, but there was also so much insight in terms of this topic, what I talked about today. If you haven't heard it today, I love you, and do not forget to tell someone you love them, because you never know who needs it a little extra. Bye, you guys. I will see you on Sunday for another episode. Mwah.